There is that, right? But yeah, but you don't get a lot of, because like even today I was juicing like passion fruit, dragon fruit, and
I told her you gotta get high water content.
Golden berries, and I got like one bottle because I only had like 3 of the passion fruit, like one dragon, so it didn't make a lot, but it did make it thicker, like you said, thicker, and then I had to like squeeze out that little and it would still have a thickness to it. So I understand what you're saying about that, like thicker versus kind of cleaner, thinner. Yeah. Oh, here.
He talking about juices. I got a number, but I still
Alright, tell y'all what we gonna do.
juicer.
Oh,
My grandma.
No, I know, man. I'm gonna wait till she gets to the house.
I remember I read that in the chapters.
Because I see, okay, so you said yours is the M1.
Say something.
Yo.
Red.
What's that?
So does yours look like that?
What it look like?
Or does yours look like there's a 7 one? Oh, there's that? She's like, no, that doesn't look good. Oh, this says Good Nature M1 cold press. Oh, it says new. Okay, say something.
Yo.
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 Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Probably put it higher.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh? When's the next class? What is the next class? I don't know yet. We do. Huh? I did. No, I haven't. I done that in the past, but I was thinking to do. Somebody asked me before, so I think I'm gonna do that again.
But they have different tiers.
There you go. Yeah, I'll do that again. Cause somebody asked me to do a class on anemia too. Yeah. So I may. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll do that.
But see, that makes sense when you have a business. Because I didn't know that there was. I know there's a woman who does 2 seconds. She does a black food truck who's here does this out of the mall or something. But then they have North Carolina.
All right. So while we waiting on that, I tell you what we gonna do. I want you to sit straight up. All right. And we just do some breathing exercises. All right. So some breathing exercises just to get the circulation flowing all throughout the body, more particularly the brain as well too, right? So we're gonna learn how to breathe. Does anybody know how to breathe? Now in my mind, it's like, nigga, I'm here, I'm still alive. I gotta be breathing somewhere, right? So when you want to breathe, you breathe through here, right? So when we want to breathe, you breathe through your solar plexus or diaphragm, whatever they want to call it, right? But you breathe through here. So every time you inhale, you should poke out. Your stomach should poke out, all right? And when you exhale, obviously your stomach will come in, and I want you to try to blow as much of the stale air out as possible, or stale air, carbon dioxide, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're gonna do that 9 times. All right, and if you need to ensure that you are breathing correctly, just hold your hands here. And if your hand is moving, you're doing it right. If your shoulder's moving, you're doing it wrong. All right, so your stomach should come in. You should breathe out. Now, if you rolls up like that, you're breathing wrong, right? So a lot of times, a lot of things about health too has to do with our breathing. We're not getting enough oxygen, so that means our cells, our red blood cells, are not moving to where it then feeding the body like it needs, not feeding the organs like it needs to feed it. You understand? So a lot of that has to do with lack of poor circulation too, right? So sometimes we may be say, well, I got the iron, you know what I'm saying? Because people will say, well, I have breathing problems, or I got the iron, or my doctor said my iron is not low, blah, 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 but maybe you're just not breathing right. So this iron ain't really moving and circulating and feeding the organs like it should, or feeding the cells like it should too, right? So we call that cellular respiration, where the cell gets good oxygen and it pushes out bad oxygen. If you're not getting good enough breath, that means that your cells could actually degenerate just because you ain't breathing right. All right. So with that being said, I ain't gonna teach you how to breathe, right? But I'm gonna show you probably how to breathe in that way. You can be more conscious of when you breathing. All right. Cause sometimes I gotta catch me. Sometimes if I'm working out and I realize I'm breathing, I'm like, oh shoot, that's why I'm tired, because I ain't even breathing right sometimes, right? You know what I mean? So, quick little exercise, what we're gonna do. So, if you want to, you can hold your stomach here. So to make sure that your hands are moving and your stomach is poking out when you inhale. All right? So we can do this 9 times, all right? Starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. How you feel? Feel good? You feel your head kind of like what? All right, one more. All right, I want you to hold. We call it fire breath. All right, you're gonna hold your right nostril. All right, and you're only gonna breathe through your left nostril. So I'm gonna give an example. So what you're gonna do? You gonna go. All right, you're gonna do that 9 times. But keep in mind, you just go. You still gonna breathe when you inhale it. It's just gonna go faster, but you still coming through your solar plexus. All right. All right. You ready? And then on the 8th one, or the ninth breath, you're gonna take a deep. So it'll be like until it can't poke no more, and then let it out. All right. So 9 fire breaths. On the ninth one, you take that deep one. All right. Ready? Let's go. Good. All right. Another nostril. Now you're gonna hold your left nostril. You're gonna breathe through your right nostril. All right. 9 times. Go. All right. So this is bring balancement, all right, to the right and left hemisphere of your brain. All right. Something that you can do in the morning before you go to work. Something you can do while you're at work. Somebody getting on your nerves, churned all in your face. You know, there's different reasons why you could say, you know what, let me go breathe. It'll only take a couple seconds for you to take up deep breaths. It's like get this gathering more positive, or let's say negative ions, and pushing out the positive ions. All right. So I like to do that before class because that show me that you're gonna be paying attention, right? And I don't mean like you got ADD. I just mean like sometimes when we don't have enough oxygen in the brain, we might wander off and this and that. Well, what did he say again? I ain't got time to repeat what I said. That's a joke. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna joke and I'm gonna talk my shit. Okay, so be prepared and just know that I'm grown too. I ain't an elder. You know what I'm saying? Who's the oldest in the room? Who's older than 65? Older than 65. Okay. Are you ready for me too? Okay. So who's older than 65? All right. Who's older than 67? Who's all right? So you the elder in the room. All right. So with that being heard, I ask you, as you the elder, may I be heard? May I speak?
Yes.
Okay. So now the elders in the room said I can speak. So since she said I can speak, if I say something you don't like, you gotta take it up with her. All right? Because Big Mama said I can say what I want to say. And so this is what we do in the African tradition is if I'm the youngest in here, but yet I'm up here trying to teach you, thank you, and I'm trying to teach you, what can I really teach elder, right? You know what I mean? But I have to have permission because we can teach elders, but I have to have permission to say, hey, I got a better way you can do this, right? So this is African tradition. You understand? All right. So what we here for today? We are here to talk about hypertension, aka high blood pressure. Or the country folks said pressure. All right. My pressure up. Millions, probably billions, millions of us are walking around right now with high blood pressure, hypertension, and we don't know it. That's why they call it a silent killer. All right. More prevalent in our community because we don't eat the nutritional foods that we need for our particular body type. All right. Normally, when a culture, whether it's the Chinaman, whether it's the Italians, whether it's the Mexican, when they come over here, they bring their food with them, right? We ain't necessarily come over here willingly. Well, let me take that back. We did come over here willingly too. But I ain't talking about that time when we was already here, because some of us was already here. Some of us came over here because we wanted to come over here. But then some of us got over here involuntarily, right? But when they got over here, they didn't bring our food with us. All right. So we started eating foods that were in survival, like survival mode, right? So now we still had a mentality of eating survival food. Foods like, a pig, right? A pig, a cow, like that don't really exist. It's genetic, like a black, there's no such thing as a cow. You only see brown, that's a cow. But when you see the little black with the black, that's not a real, that's genetically modified, right? But anyway, so we're here to talk about hypertension, all right? So, what is hypertension? Let's look at the word. I like to break down, I like to make the word make sense so we can understand what's going on. Because a lot of us, and not just in this room, we don't even know what it is, right? Because when we go to the doctors, we're just going for a name. They name the disease for you. And that's all they do. Oh, this is hypertension. And you say, oh, okay. But they don't necessarily take this. But they don't tell you what it is. That's the thing. So they just they naming diseases for you when you go in there. They're not telling you what nothing is. They just say, oh, you got hypertension. Oh, you got cancer. Oh, you got lupus. They just giving you names. But they're not saying, hey, this is how you're going to heal. They give you this, call me in the morning. Take 2 of these, call me in the morning. And if you call me in the morning, that means you're still alive. All right? So, when you look at the word hyper, it's a Greek word. Hyper simply means over or beyond. All right? Now, if y'all have questions and stuff, feel free to ask. Anybody looking at the live feed, you have questions, ask. Right? Just you ain't gotta be. I'm not a preacher, so you don't gotta sit there and just listen to the whole lecture. Hey, be like, hey, I don't understand that, or hey, blah blah blah, and ask your question. All right. So hyper from the Greek simply means over and beyond. That's what it means in the Greek language. That was borrowed from Latin language, right? So it kind of could be like, I know we think it means like wildly energetic, like badass turn, right? But it just simply means over and beyond, all right? Tension from the Latin tendere. Tendere, and it means to strain or stretch, right? So when we put these two words together, we get hypertension, right? Well, it simply means beyond strained or overstrained, beyond stretched. And what they're making reference to when they're talking about being overstrained is the blood vessel, right? The blood vessel now is being too tight, it's straining. Sort of like when we blow a balloon, right? And you just keep blowing that balloon, blowing that balloon. A lot of people are walking around like it's just ready to burst, right? And you think, oh, Mabel just had a stroke, or so and so just had a heart attack. That balloon just burst at that time. It ain't happened out of nowhere. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's the silent killer, because you could be walking around and you know how you drive around in a car with over pumped tires or something like that. You know what I mean? Or you hit a wrong bump and boom. You know what I mean? So just basically talking about a blood vessel that has now been overly strained. Your blood vessel or the pressure is too high. All right, that means your heart is pumping too fast. It's pumping out way too much blood than it's supposed to. Okay, so that's what it's doing. And keep in mind, when you talk about a blood vessel is no bigger than the eye of a needle. All right. So think about trying to get some blood to go through that needle, or just some liquid itself to go through that needle. All right. So usually they'll say, okay, high blood pressure is about what, 140 over 80, something like that. Like millimeters of mercury, right? That's what they millimeters of mercury. Why mercury? Okay. So you remember those sphygmometers? Like, you check your blood. So back in the day, I don't think they do it now. I don't know. But back in the day, they would use mercury because water and blood was too light, right? So mercury was denser than the blood and water. So we knew if you can push that, if when I squeeze and that mercury going up, that means that's applying a lot of pressure to make mercury actually rise up. All right, so this is why they use mercury. All right, now do they use mercury anymore? I doubt it, because we got electrical machines and all that now. You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily need the mercury anymore. They'll do that, yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times too, we're nervous, right? So they're gonna give you like a second because the first one is gonna be a false read. You're nervous, you don't really want to be here, you know what I mean? So they're gonna wait for a little bit, then they're gonna check you again. Now if you check you again and you're still high, then all right. So that's how they usually normally gonna check your blood pressure. All right. But what if I told you that all high blood pressure is simply a deficiency in minerals because you're not getting enough minerals, vitamins, I hate that word, but minerals itself, right? It would be that simple, right? If, oh, well, then let me just go to the store and then the GNC and get the minerals I need, right? Or multivitamin, etc. Yeah and no. Because if you're still going to eat some particular foods that's going to cause clogs arteries, then guess what that means? That means that your pressure is still going to have to pump hard. It's going to pump faster. All right. Now keep in mind your heart, right? Whoever heard like the heart is the brain too. You heard that before? Like we got three brains: the heart, the actual brain, and then the stomach, right? So the reason why I say is because the heart has just as many neurons as the brain does, and the stomach has more than really all, right? So they kind of say the stomach is its own brain, right? Has its own, almost its own thoughts, right? In a sense. But so being that your neurons, you have just as many neurons on your heart, that means that you putting a strain on the heart because it has to pump more blood out. It has to increase the quantity of blood because it's trying to get these particular minerals that it needs. All right. More particular, somebody said, "What minerals, Kat?" I know that's what y'all said. Isn't it? What minerals, Kat? So I'm gonna tell you. You got magnesium. You got potassium. And then you got calcium. These are the three most important minerals that you need to get over high blood pressure. All right? It's almost that simple. With a little bit of discipline while changing your diet. But we'll get to that. All right? Reason being because these three, they actually work together to relax the blood vessel. All right? To release and relax that contraction or that strain. You understand? So if it's straining, all you need is that magnesium, that calcium, that potassium, right? These three work together. We call that mineral relativity, all right? You can't use one without using the others, all right? Or it's not, or it's going to become like a toxin to you, all right? You use these. So if you got, let's say, now I'm not good at drawing. This might not look right. That's a blood vessel. I don't know, y'all. I never was a drawer. That's not my expertise. But let's just say that this is a perfectly fine blood vessel. Boom. Blood can flow through it. All right. But if you have a constricted blood vessel or clogged up from eating junk, right? Then it kind of looks like this a little bit, right? And now the blood is having a harder time to get through, right? Because it's clogged. So that means it has to push harder, or let's say faster. That's really the right word. Faster, not very harder. It's going to roll faster. That means it's going to increase the quantity of blood that it needs. All right, because it's trying to get these minerals to you. Because you're really dying, right? When you have high blood pressure like that, you're dying. Your body's trying to protect itself. It's not even trying to protect you at this point. It's trying to protect itself. It's like, this nigga's crazy. I ain't dying. My DNA said I'm supposed to be here for 120 years, and that's what I plan on trying to do, right? So that's what it's going to do. It's going to fight, all right? So it uses these to pump out more so it can relax this vessel to open up so that blood can flow through uninhibited, all right? So that's the main thing. These 3 minerals right there, all right? You get these minerals from food. That's it. Real most of like whole food stuff. Not junk food, because that's the thing about it. Junk food, it doesn't have any nutrients in it. It's nutrient deficient. And what I mean by that, take it even a step further. They have what we call, let's say, a magnesium blocker, right? They put magnesium blockers in junk food. They put potassium blockers in junk food. They put calcium blockers in junk food. So the more you keep eating this food, but you end up, you still hungry though, right? It's like, damn, I just got to eat this Chinese. I'm still hungry, right? There's nothing in it. It's nutrient deficient, all right? So if you don't have any of these, you're never going to get your blood pressure down. You won't. So if you continue to eat the junk food, continue to eat this hormonal animal flesh, is void of nutrients, void of minerals, you will continue to have high blood pressure. Bless. Now, the thing with that is this blood pressure itself is going to lead to other issues, right? We know that. Bless. Because what's going to happen is your heart is being taxed, right? We already know that the heart is being taxed first, right? So the heart is being taxed, but guess what else is being taxed? Kidneys, right? Because the kidneys still have to sift out these toxins. It has to sift out these toxins. And if it feels like it's not getting the correct oxygen that it needs or the nutrients it needs, then guess what it's going to do? It's going to request it get some more blood, knowing it can't take much blood, right? But it's like, yo, I'm trying to survive. I'm gonna figure it out. So it's trying to get as much nutrients as it can. So it has to request for more blood. Like, y'all need some more quantity of blood over here, right? You ever know, like, you see them little dollar machine things, you get in the thing and it's blowing wild, you trying to collect all the money out the little machine. That's how your kidneys is moving, right? Because now the toxins is going too fast. And it's like, I'm trying to catch, it's overworking it. And as you overwork it, what's waiting on you? Dialysis. You see? And what sits on top of the kidneys, adrenal glands. So now you taxing your adrenal glands. So you tax the adrenal glands. So the adrenal glands is only used for like releasing particular hormones, all right? More particularly like what they call cortisol, all right? The stress hormone, all right? So the stress hormone is only supposed to be used when we in a situation where it seems like fight or flight. They call it fight or flight, right? We call it the sympathetic nervous system, right? But it's the fight or flight system. It could be a dog growling, right? Your sympathetic nervous system is going to kick on because it's going to think, all right, be on point. We don't know if the dog going to attack or not, but be on point. So what it's going to do is going to release cortisol in the bloodstream to have you prepared and ready for whatever, all right? So that's what the adrenals are mainly used for, but we use them wrong. And what I mean by we use it abroad because we always stress. We constantly stress, whether it's your job, toxic relationship, it could be music, it could be just walking outside, and it could be people, right? All these things have you on edge all the time. It ain't like how our ancestors used it, right? Our ancestors used it to hunt. It was like, okay, well, they go this, this antelope or whatever. This lion might be attacked. We don't know. So that cortisol release. When the danger is over, that cortisol, everything come back to normal, what we call homeostasis. It comes back to normal. But not us. You get in an argument with your old lady or something like that, you'll never resolve the issue right there. That cortisol is still floating around in your bloodstream. So we always, and I just give that as an example, right? But your cortisol is now in the bloodstream, and now you still on edge. You're been in an argument or something like that, and you done passed and done gone. You still talking. You talking to yourself, and no, motherfucker, he's no damn well. I ain't care what he's. You still arguing. You talking to yourself. So your sympathetic is still up. You ain't even come down yet. You see what I'm saying? But what happened? You getting taxed. Your adrenal glands is taxing you. Well, you taxing the adrenal glands. I said it that way. So now you become fatigued. So now you got adrenal failure. All right? Dialysis. And all of this comes from what? High blood pressure, hypertension. And hypertension comes from what? I just say it straight up, eating that bullshit. That's what it is. Just eat that bullshit. And we be knowing it's bullshit, but we still eat it. Why?
I think it's addictive.
Thank you. That's the word I was going to use. I'm glad you used that. It's addiction. So we know it's addiction because this ain't the same animals that Big Mama them grew up on. Or they get to go in the field and wring the neck, and that's over with. You going in the store, you going in the freezer section, you getting animal flesh or chicken that just came out of machine, and you don't even know. They just came out of machine. Head and all, feathers ain't nothing, just sitting there. Chicken wouldn't don't even exist. You laughing. They grow the chicken, you know it, but you laughing because you know it's true, right? You just because you know it's true. That's the thing. It's like, damn, the chicken just come out the conveyor belt. No head, no come out the egg, no nothing, just come straight on the conveyor belt. That's how the chickens come out no more. Think about it. Chickens don't exist no more. Why would a chicken still exist? Niggas eat chicken every day, but 4 times a day. Chicken will not exist no more. That's a wrap. So of course they had to start genetically making these chickens. So these chickens don't exist. So you're addicted to what they're pumping into it. Whether it's red meat, whether it's whatever, you addicted to it. Whether it's just regular junk food, chips, all of these different things have some chemical in it that ties to you, more particularly you, because you have what we call melanin, right? Or melanin. It's a binder though, so it's going to bind to those chemicals. This is why it's harder for us to get off addictions than any other race on the planet. I didn't know that. Okay, so you addicted. So what you need to do, you want to detox, cleanse. When the last anybody detox in here? Yeah, it's fun. And I ain't saying that to shame nobody. I'm just saying, I'm just giving an idea. Like, yo, when the last time anybody detox? We ain't thinking that. We constantly want to bombard ourselves with food. I gotta eat. That's what we do. All right. Y'all got questions? Anybody got questions? Y'all ain't got no questions? Okay. Questions on there? Okay. So magnesium blockers, get back to that. So what they do is they put magnesium blockers in your food. Whether I don't care what we can most I just say junk food because it's such a long list, right? Of junk food. Everybody know what junk food is. That's why they call it junk food, right? Well, you know it's junk. Hey, that's something you go. When we think of junk, what we think of? We think of trash, but we still eat it. So even if it was junk, it's still trash. We still eat it anyway. So again, addiction, because you're gonna eat trash food and put it in your body that the Creator, God, Allah, whatever name you want to use, created for you to experience life on this planet, and you gonna disrespect him or her or this Creator by eating food that he ain't even create or she ain't create. Come on now. So we just out of our mind. That's all it is. So this is just the whole point of bringing us back to. This is why we had these classes, just so we can really just reflect and say, okay, well, damn, all right, because we don't think about it, and that's okay. All right. So high blood pressure. Any questions? So what we're going to do is, so what happens is simply trying to get these minerals. Now, why would they, out of all things, block these in your food? I ain't a conspiracy theorist or nothing, but I'm just saying, out of all the minerals that you gonna block these? You understand? And then you wonder why they say, okay, here, take. They don't give you a solution. They say, oh, okay, here, take this. You gonna take this for the rest of your life. What the hell you mean? I'm gonna take this the rest of my life? But then what I need you for? Because if you the doctor and I came here for you to heal me, I'm not supposed to be taking it for the rest of my life. I'm supposed to have like a definite date. Oh, you only probably need to take this about, a week. Take this medication for a week. This is what you're going to eat, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have to worry about that no more. So I'm saying this to say that high blood pressure or high tension is not as serious. That's a lot of money in this one particular disease. There's so much money in this one particular disease, especially in our community. But they're never gonna teach you how to eat, right? They'll never teach you how to eat. But it's okay. You gotta learn yourself. You can't always expect. You can't expect. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep it all the way because it's us, right? You can't expect one race to tell you what your race needs. That's not how nature ain't designed like that. No polar bear gonna tell the the gazelle how to eat. Man, when you eating that grass, well, you need to eat this fish. That's not how nature works. Nature don't even work like that. You see what I'm saying? So what will make you think that they could tell you what you should be eating? I sounded like I'm from B-Mall just now, but you can't listen to what they say eat because you're not designed on that. So the best thing you could do is what we call diagnosing races. Diagnose your race. Diagnose your race. What do I mean by that? Simple. Look at what Big Mama them eat. Look at the diseases that Big Mama them had. If Big Mama had high blood pressure, if Big Mama had sugar, right? Or diabetes. For those young and don't know what sugar is, right? Then we could say, okay, well, damn, Big Mama got diabetes, Big Mama got high blood pressure. What is it that Big Mama eating? So I don't want to eat because I don't want those diseases. So what Big Mama eating? Ham hock, turkey neck, turkey wing, lima bean with the white rice in it. You know what I mean? What else? Sweet tea, sweet potato pie, red velvet cake. All that sounds good, though. You're like, damn, you making me hungry, cat. See, that's your problem. No, stop. But But we eat, she ate all that. She passed that on to your mama, and your mama gonna eventually pass that on to you, and we gonna perpetuate the same cycle of diseases in our generations, our families. So if you pay attention to that, pay attention to what they ate and the diseases that they have, and you can stop it right there. It's really just that simple. And it's never too late. I don't care if you're an elder or not. I don't mean what that mean. You know? And I just said, according to the Bible, right, it said 120 years, you should strive now. So if it said that means technically we still babies. Like we ain't even scratched the surface or nothing. I don't care if you're 70. You know what I mean? You still got 50 more years, according to scripture, right? So I'm just saying, we don't reach that, we don't attain that because I get it. The odds is against us because of the foods that we eat, but it's just the foods that we eat that causing this. All right, simple issues. All right. Now you gotta take a diuretic, especially if you got diabetes, right? Because normally you're gonna get tagged. Now I know with the sugar, right, or diabetes. Because normally you got high blood pressure and diabetes in it. That's normally how I go on it. You know why? Because the pills is normally a diuretic. What do diuretics do? They go flush all the magnesium and potassium out your body. So you can never get rid of high blood pressure if you got diabetes because the medicine you take is counteractive to the high blood pressure. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's a cycle. It's a cycle that the whole thing is to trap you in that cycle, and they make it hard for you to get out that cycle. As simple as that. They make it hard for you to get out that cycle because once you take this medication got to offset this medication. Then I got to take, who take potassium pills? Don't they give you potassium pills too?
Calcium.
And calcium. They give you that. But let me tell you something. They are toxins. You cannot get that from a pill. You don't get it from a pill. You have to get it from food so it can readily synthesize in your body. It can't happen outside of you. It won't. The only way it can happen is when you put that food in there. That's going to cause the reaction that we need to relax that blood vessel, right? And to open that blood vessel so that blood can flow freely. And now we can get rid of that high blood pressure. Now we had a balanced pressure. It's that simple. Magnesium, potassium, and what else? But you can't take one without taking the other. We call that mineral relativity, right? They react with one another. You can't take one and then think you're going to get the result. It won't happen that way. Because this one needs magnesium, need calcium, and calcium need magnesium, vice versa. But they need each other, right? Because if I just say, let's say I'm just taking calcium pills, right? Because they say, oh, my bones brittle, so I just start taking calcium. You don't have the magnesium to help the body absorb the calcium. So now you're just gonna create kidney stones. You're just gonna create stones in the body. All right. So not only that, magnesium is electrical. Potassium is electrical. These are electrical. And what I mean by that is your nervous system depends on these too. Because they act as like what they call conduction, right? They help with electrical signals for your nervous system. Right. So if you don't have that, so if you're mineral deficient, I can almost assure you that those are where in any disease, most of your disease is gonna come from mineral deficiency. All right. Any questions? Well, what foods got magnesium in it, cat? Oh, you said that, I got you. And I'm gonna give you some herbs that got some so nettle, right? So Nettle has all three of these in it. Nettle, alfalfa. There's either one, cacao. It's more like a food. Have you ever heard of cacao before? It's where chocolate comes from. It's with chocolate. It's bitter actually, but until they put the milk and the sugar in it, right? You see how they destroyed it? Now it ain't good for you no more. But you can get the regular cacao, you know. And it's like this little yellow long fruit. When you cut it open, it's just full of white seeds, and you can just suck on the seeds. No diddy. And what happened is, what y'all laughing?
You know what?
And but it's sweet. You know, y'all are true. Y'all, this is me. Y'all know it's still me now. It doesn't never change. So, nettle, alfalfa, cacao. All right. Some people don't like it, but moringa. All right. This is just to name a few. How you gonna get it? Second Rose got it. But no.
Is it only a herb?
Is it?
I'm familiar with it, but is it only the herb that's moringa, or is it?
So moringa is a tree, right? So normally you can use the seed. You can eat the seed. You can eat the leaf, right? And it actually grows a fruit too. A lot of people don't know about the fruit too much, but you can eat the fruit too. It's like a long green, look like a string bean. You know what I mean? With pods in it, but you can. So it's a fruit. So that's one. And then you got then you got fruits like amla, cacao, baobab. All of these have the minerals that you need. There's many. Any green leafy vegetable, kale, dandelion greens, dandelion green, but I'm gonna put dandelion root on this side or the herb side, all right? Hibiscus, Cassandra berry, all right? Purslane. Purslane is growing all over the place right now. Romaine. Cassandra. Cassandra. It's a berry. All right. And these are just a few herbs. I mean, there's tons of herbs that can reduce blood pressure, right?
And so you do them as teas.
You can make them as a tea. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, if you wanted to do the cacao in like a plant milk, can you do that?
Yes. Yep. You can do that.
With no sugar.
But no sugar. Make sure no sugar. Because sugar is actually a magnesium, potassium, and calcium blocker. That's another blocker. Sugar.
So when you say blocker, then it's blocking our ability to access those.
Right. So it makes it you're unable to absorb it. Right? You're unable to absorb it. That's all that means. Right? And they do it just to simply make you more hungry, make you keep wanting to get it. Because your body's gonna say, yo, I ain't get what I need. So you want to keep eating. So that's the reason why you keep eating too, is because you're mineral deficient, and your body's like, yo, I need some minerals. Go get me something, right? You ever been your menstrual cycle, back in the day, right? But well, I mean, I don't know how I try to say it before y'all say it. I don't hit those no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know how my women go, right? So what happened is you normally kind of wanted some type of chocolate or something, right? You kind of craved something when you was on your cycle, right? We could talk to the younger sisters, and how about that, right? So what happens is your taste buds are like recorders, and so it's going to rewind and bring back up what it had that had magnesium in it. Let's say magnesium. You lost magnesium, right? All right, through your menses, but I need that. So your taste bud gonna say, "Yo, man, go get a Hershey's or something." You know what I'm saying? Because that's all it remembers. It's just that's all it remembers. So it's gonna say, "Well, go get some chocolate. I need you some chocolate." All right. Now you can offset that and of course get the cacao and still get the same effect with the health benefits of it, but your taste bud receptor is just going off what you fed it, what it knows. Like, well, I did get some from that last chocolate bar she ate, so I'm gonna just get it from that. You see? So they use that. I just use that as an example so that you can absorb it, and that's why we continuously eat, right? Um, But kale, dandelion, purslane, mostly your leafy green vegetables are always going to contain these three. So make a salad, eat a salad, eat a salad every day. You know what I mean? And I don't mean a ye old fashioned salad, right? You got the little bit of iceberg lettuce that ain't got nothing in it. And you pile it up with cheese, and you pile it up with some type of turkey or something, and then pickles and cucumber, tomatoes, and a cup of dressing. And you drizzling it all over there, and you swear you know it ain't healthy now. Oh, I just gonna eat a salad today. Not eat a salad. You know what I'm saying? So I mean one of them now. Cause that's just gonna raise your pressure up mad, and your body gonna get sick of you. Right? So I don't mean like that type of salad. I mean like a real salad, no animal flesh, no dead carcasses on it. That's what I mean. That's all it is, dead carcass. You put it on there because addiction, again, you think you need the meat because in your mind you're saying protein. They don't know what protein is, but I know I need it. That's what it's in your mind. You feel like you need it, right? So it's so many leafy green vegetables, all right? Cacao. Um, like I said, it's a plethora of herbs that will help. And I'm gonna give you a formula to put together that y'all can make yourself, right? For your family, for you, whoever, you know what I'm saying? You're here for a reason. I don't know if you are dealing with it or you here to learn so you can help a family member. Either way, right? So that's what we're gonna do too. Right? Any questions? Yeah.
What about beetroot?
Beetroot, trash. Right? So it's trash. Because it's a starch. I know they say that, and they say that because it has nitric oxide, right? But the thing is, it still has what we call phytic acid. So this is the thing about it. This is the thing. Good question. So phytic acid is going to also deplete your magnesium, potassium, and calcium too. So yeah, it may have nitric oxide in it, but it's also got phytic acid. So it's like, well, there's no need to even, it's gonna cancel out. So it's like, what's the purpose of eating the beet? So it cast it away. So no, and it's a starch. The greens, yeah, the beet greens too, trash.
That's why I didn't even think about it. Because when I really my dad like 4 years ago, and I got him off the high blood pressure medicine with the beetroot.
Mm.
Then now I need to get him on something else because he's being drained of magnesium.
Right.
Okay.
That's what it is. So you can find some things that have nitric oxide in it. Again, these same green leafy vegetables, I could put arugula on there too, right? But they have nitric oxide in it. Watermelon, Nitric oxide.
Are there any that you shouldn't mix? The green that you're talking about.
Any green veggies you should mix?
So, yeah. She's like, what are the best greens to use to mix out? So she has up there, and are there any that you should not mix?
No, but these you can mix any of these. These are fine. Now kale, the only thing about kale is I would recommend juicing it, right? Unless you're gonna chew 32 times. I know I don't chew 32 times. I ain't gonna say a lot of you.
I learned how to soften it up.
Because the thing about kale takes just as long as meat to break down in your body. I know. So I would want you to go to Herbal Ash Park and get juices from kale. Shameless plug, but I'm proud of that plug, right? So, but but kale is better to be juiced. So I can even put juice by it, right? And the only reason why I say that is because again, kale is really tough, and when you chew on your food and you release it, the enzymes that you need to break down in the body. Kale doesn't break down unless you gotta chew the shit out of it, right? But you're not probably not gonna do it. I know. I don't chew 30 something times. I'm just keeping it in a buck, right? So it's better to juice it. That way you're gonna make sure you get all the nutrients. Because it doesn't have as much water content as the other greens, right? Spinach, no. The reason why spinach, that word I use, phytic acid. Phytic acid.
There are quite a few foods that people think of as healthy foods that have that phytic acid in it.
Right. And it's not. It'll shut down your kidneys, really, because it has spinach has what you call oxalates. You ever heard of that term, oxalate? Okay, so oxalate is basically like, kidney stones, right? So normally when you get kidney issues, they tell you to don't eat green leafy vegetables now because more so like spinach because of the high content of oxalates in it. You see? So for me, I just say, well, I'm just not gonna eat it. So I don't eat spinach because of that. Now, granted, there are almost 1,500 varieties of spinach. It just so happened the white man put the Savoy spinach in the store, so we think that's spinach. I just had to say that's the ayahuasca talking. So I took a microdose. So if I say something, just don't mind me. So anyway, the only spinach that you probably know of is what they call a Savoy spinach, right? That's what the ones you get out the grocery store, right? Out of all the varieties of spinach, that's the trash one. That's the one that we should not eat. That thing will turn into a toxin in your body. All right. Now you got callaloo. You heard of callaloo for the Jamaicans? That's spinach. You see what I'm saying? That's spinach.
Can we eat that?
Yes.
Okay.
You can eat that all day. It's very high iron, magnesium. Collard greens? No. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Oh no, hey mama. But collard greens, no. So collard greens, no. Collard greens are not good for the digestive system. All right. Again, that goes back to what we said at the beginning of the class. We ate survival food, right? So what the slave master or the slave kidnappers, right? No, the kidnappers, we just say it that way. They were casting away those collard greens. They saw it as weed. We took it. It was like, well, shit, we gotta eat something. But we used it because we knew we was eating animal pork. We knew we was eating swine, pork, all these different things that we shouldn't eat. So we needed something to push and cleanse that stuff out of us. So we used the collard green to push that stuff out of us. Same thing we did with the watermelon. We ate that because we knew that it would flush us out of these toxins that was in our bodies that we know that we didn't eat in our own continent.
Was that no to watermelon?
No. That's no to collard greens.
Okay.
I'm just giving a reason why we ate it.
You talked about nitric oxide.
Right.
Watermelon.
Watermelon, yes.
So nitric oxide want, but we don't want phytic acid.
Right. There you go. So nitric oxide occurs, it occurs naturally in us, right? But guess what? The magnesium is what sparks the nitric oxide in the body.
This is really reducing our options.
No, it ain't. Not at all. It's just the options that you chose. You realize, shit, I can't eat that no more. No, but no, you're not really reducing nothing. Question?
So that means that, so not the collard greens, but like, what other greens, like turnips and?
So let me tell you this about kale. You can cook kale.
So kale's really good.
Cooked kale is better than eating it raw. I should say that too. Let me say that.
Like the
Juiced or cooked.
We call it dynactyl kale, the one that goes straight up.
Yeah,
in the air.
licinado joint. Yeah.
Licinado, okay.
So, but cook it. If you want kale, you could do it. Cook the kale or juice the kale. That's the only way. But you gotta soften it. Right?
What about kale chips?
That's fine, because that's, you know what I mean? That's something different. I'm just talking about the raw kale. You gotta find out, it's just not, there's not enough water to it. But if you cook it, obviously it's gonna shrink down, so you'd be good to go. So no collard greens, especially raw. That's a new thing now, this raw community.
Make sandwiches.
Yeah, I see them do that. That is not good for you. That will mess your kidneys up. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of it. So no raw kale. I mean, no raw kale for real, but no collard greens either. You shouldn't. You know what I mean? No. Then you can do what you want to do. I'm just trying to put it right here, and then. Right.
So when you say it doesn't reduce it, that we eliminate those things, then there are other things we can put in its place.
Like like say, well, for example, animal flesh. What are you talking about?
No. I don't eat.
Okay, nice.
But like if I'm not eating spinach, but I like greens, I could do collard food, but it's hard to find like fresh collard unless you go someplace.
I grow it. I
myself.
grow it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here you can it'll grow here too. And the thing I like about it is once it grow, it don't stop. It will come back forever. You don't have to do nothing no more. I don't think I planted callaloo no more since I came back from Jamaica one time, and it just grow every year.
Okay.
So you could do
So
that.
now we have to garden the things that we
Well, if we want to live longer, we need to garden anyway, right? Because that way you in control of your food. You know what I mean? So that goes with just time though, because everybody don't have the space, the land, or whatever. But yeah, or the skill. But you can acquire that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had a question. You look like you had a question. Go ahead, Mr. Lee. Well, Phytic. Phytic. Yeah. Yeah, so this, like I said again, this is phytic acid is what's going to deplete your magnesium, potassium, all of those, the minerals that you need, right? So you also getting off of those things like that, you also now helping your kidneys out as well as your heart and obviously your blood vessels. All right.
I think I know the answer, but you say no to collard. Would that be the same for turnips?
Turnip greens, Dr. Sabi said they were all right to eat. I don't know if that list changed or not, but I remember it was okay at one point. Now, what I will say is because, again, phytic acid, oxalates, I would stay away from that, but I would stay away from it, right? But I remember at one point it was okay to eat, but sometimes I know a lot of times too, he let you have certain things because it's like, damn, I don't want to take everything away from him. The same thing I'm trying not to do now is take everything away, right? So that's what it is. But mustard greens was another thing like that too. Mustard greens was okay at one point, but I don't. Again, with the oxalates, it's going to be too much. The phytic acid.
Cabbage.
Cabbage, no, because cabbage has what is called raffinose sugars. Now, let me tell you. Let me tell.
Just ruin everything.
No. Because let me tell you. Let me tell you when I use cabbage. I use cabbage when people have ulcers. Like I've here. I don't like to say I did it right, but I've recommended people juice a cabbage. You get rid of your ulcer, right? So it's time. So cabbage to me is more medicinal. It's not nothing that you're supposed to eat all the time. It's something that can be medicinal. You understand? So juice a cabbage, get rid of ulcer. You can pass that on. So that's normally when I say, yeah, do some cabbage. Then eat it. No, eat it. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. That's always gonna be better than eating a plate of potato chips, eating a raccoon. I'm just thinking this shit, right? But you understand what I'm saying? That always gonna be better than a, you know what I mean? Than a worse choice. So I ain't the one to restrict you from eating, or you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, what are we gonna do, right? So it also comes with time and transition too. You ain't gonna just throw everything away in your refrigerator. Well, we don't eat none of this no more. I did it though, but I'm just saying that I don't expect you to just give up everything now. But it's a transition, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Uh, right. So broccoli, people gonna hate, especially if they're in the alkaline community. I'm sorry, but broccoli is actually alkaline once it's processed in the body.
So you saying it's okay?
Yeah. So it has a chemical in it called sulforaphane, and it's good. It's good for you. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. Right.
But Brussels sprouts, no.
Brussels sprouts, to a
Cabbage family.
so all those in the same family,
Yeah.
right? The mustard plant was the mama, what? The Brassica family, right? And then that's where you get the Brussels sprout, where you get the mustard green, you get the collard, you get the kale, you get the broccoli. All that came from that one mustard plant. Cauliflower too. All of that came from that same plant, right? So they have their own medicinal property to it. I'm not gonna say that they don't. I will never tell you that they don't. But if you were, let's say you're a person that's dealing with kidney issues due to high blood pressure, then it might not be conducive for you to eat that. You understand? And that's where I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. If you a person, you don't got high blood pressure, I don't eat cabbage like that. I may eat it out the blue or something like that. I ain't gonna be like, hey man, put that cabbage down. I ain't gonna tell you that. You understand? But if you came to me with high blood pressure, I'm gonna say, hey, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that, you shouldn't eat that, you should eat this. That's what I'm gonna say. You know, whether you listen or not, I ain't got nothing to do with that either. You know, all I can do is tell you what I can, inform you on what to eat. That's it, right? But these herbs, if you incorporate these herbs, you'll be good. Because I think of herbs as food. This is still food, right? So you can incorporate these herbs, and I'm gonna give you a formula that y'all can use, and y'all can drink this whenever y'all want to. All right. But what I'm saying is, eating these taxes the kidneys. That's already been taxed because it has to pump more what blood out. Because you only increasing the quantity of blood because what the body's trying to get this magnesium, potassium, calcium. But the nitric oxide, when we was talking about that, for those who didn't know what nitric oxide is, because I don't know, but it's released to relax the blood vessel. That's what it's used for. It's used to relax the blood vessel and open it, dilate it, right? So that the blood can flow through freely.
And there's sets of foods we can eat.
It's foods that you can eat that have nitric oxide in it. Yep.
Besides what?
All your fruits. All your fruits gonna have it. Most of red fruits, right? So your pomegranate, your strawberries, your berries, all that are gonna have nitric oxide in it. Broccoli has nitric oxide in it, but it's gonna help release that.
Yes, I think it's the pill in store that have magnesium, potassium, and calcium.
Oh, okay.
Do you have something?
No, I don't have that because again, like I said, I would get that directly from the food. Because you can, like I said, you can have these pills, you can have these, but they synthetically made. And you have this already in your body. It just needs the right combination to unlock. That made sense when I said that? But it normally comes from just the foods we eat. So the junk foods, I know we like our junk food, but if you want to heal from your hypertension, you're going to have to give it up.
But if we're gonna get the magnesium, potassium, and calcium, is there gonna be a certain amount of why? Because a lot of times you'll hear people they can get things from food, but they aren't getting things from food because they're not eating enough of the right foods or whatever. Is there some like quantity of stuff, or do you have a little bit of this and then get those three things working?
So I think so you saying like if you ate like a bowl of kale or like a bowl of lettuce, I'm just giving an example, that would be your daily, and that would be your daily intake for the day.
No,
Something like
no.
is that what you said?
Like if I had like a bowl of lettuce is probably not going to get me those three things in the quantity that I need for it to be helpful.
Right.
So is there a certain amount of things that we need to eat so that we're actually doing that? Because we could just like, okay, I'm going to have, some dandelion, some, I don't know, rice or whatever, and I'm going to have beans and something. And how do you know that you're getting the right amount of that you need to be helpful?
So, okay, here's the thing. So you have a reserve in your body too, right? But you also, if you eating whole foods, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that. Now you could do your like a supplement, say like a CMOS bladder mix. Okay, that's a supplement to get what I don't do, what I didn't get. They got phytoplankton. That's another one. Marine phytoplankton. That's another one that you could get that can supplement what maybe you don't get. Because I know for like people that's plant based, we have a hard time getting B12, right? So that's when it's like, okay, well, that's what the sea moss and your bladder is for. Your kelp or chickweed or those things have B12 in it. Your sea vegetables. So it's like, okay, well, let me incorporate some type of sea vegetable to make sure I'm getting my B12. Now, people that eat meat, they're gonna get it because they get it from animal flesh, right? But for those that don't eat, then we need to have like a supplement to make sure that we are getting what we need. But if you eat whole foods and incorporate herbs, you're gonna get it. You'll get it. Because a lot of these minerals are already in you. They just being activated, right? So they just being activated. Question? No question? Okay, question. But yeah, so that's what it is. So that's the number one cause, junk food, high blood pressure, all right? Now you got another one that can cause, remember we talked about your adrenal glands? Well, let's say I'm eating right. Let's say now I am eating right, right? And then, but I can't seem to get my pressure down. Always ask your doctor to test your aldosterone levels.
You're right.
I know, right? Aldosterone. All right. So aldosterone is a chemical that is secreted, well, a hormone, sorry. It's a hormone that is secreted by your adrenal glands. All right. It regulates the potassium and sodium in the body, in the bloodstream. All right. Now let's say you producing too much aldosterone. They call that hyperaldosteronism, right? But what happens is that means now that more sodium is being made more than the potassium. And this sodium is now secreting into the bloodstream. And that also is what is raising the pressure. Hmm? So aldosterone is a chemical that secretes sodium. It's pretty much a mixture of sodium and potassium. It regulates this. So what happens is when you is imbalancement comes, sodium tends to rise higher than the potassium levels. All right. And so the sodium starts to secrete into the bloodstream. And this is also what raises your pressure. All right. So if you feel like, man, I know I'm doing it right, I'm exercising, I'm doing it, I still got this high blood pressure, the doctor says, and tell him, say, yo, check my aldosterone levels. And he may say, you know what, I don't know how you know that, but yeah, you're right. It is an imbalance, right? That's also, so it's secreted by, so you got the kidneys, and then you got a little adrenal gland on top of the kidney. I don't know, I just did that to make it look like a bean. Right? So this is your adrenal gland right here. So that's what happens here. And this is what secretes the sodium and potassium. All right. So that's what secretes it. All right. So always ask them to check that too. Tell them to check that. Now, when you find out, yeah, it is true. Okay, so now that knows that we need to work on these kidneys and get these kidneys right, get these adrenal glands right before we end up in another somebody said dialysis, right? Or another, we're gonna have more issues than we bargained for. All right. So herbs to help cleanse the adrenal glands. You could do cleavers. You could do plantain leaf. Yeah, cleavers. Plantain leaf, hydrangea root. You could do ashwagandha, reishi, cassandra berry. Huh?
Where's all these located?
Oh,
Look over there.
oh my God. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Say. So, and that's just a few, but just give an example of the herbs that you could use to cleanse the kidney and adrenal glands. All right. This was going to help balance back out the aldosterone level. All right. Along with, of course, what? Eating the right foods. All right,
You said ashwagandha and that
Chandra Berry. Yep,
but you said another one too.
reishi.
Is that like the mushroom?
It's a mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's adaptogen. So I use I'll say ashwagandha and reishi. Also Chandra Berry. Those are adaptogens too, but they also good for adrenal and renal, right? So renal, y'all know, is just another word for saying kidneys, right? They just That's why they call it the adrenal, because they just added on top. This is like was on top. Well, let's just call it the adrenals. Oh God, that's what they did. You know what I mean? So I guess we gotta go with what the white man calls everything. He just names everything, don't he? Anyway,
Terms.
good.
Okay, so you said if our aldosterone levels are high, we need to clean our kidneys.
Yes, and adrenals.
Okay.
So if you notice that these herbs, and this is just a few, I named more than I wrote down, right? But not only do they clean the adrenals, but you're gonna see that they actually cleanse the kidneys at the same time too.
Is that a blood test that they get done with? You said ask the doctor to check them.
Yeah, he's gonna do a blood test. He'll do a test, and what he's gonna see is more sodium in your bloodstream than normally need to be.
Okay.
I'm not saying, of course, not saying that we don't need sodium, right? Because we need sodium, right? Sodium is like the magnet that pulls water to your cells, right? So you need sodium, right? It just will happen when it's out of whack, it's out of balance, that becomes the issue, right? So that's another reason why your blood pressure can be high and it's not tapering down, is your aldosterone level is too high. So if you did all these first, you ate right, you did everything that was needed to do, this will be the next step. Check that. So we got three things that we talked about that get your pressure up. Who can name them three things?
Junk food.
Junk food, one. Adrenal glands. Well, not adrenal gland, but there you go. And one more.
No reduction of the 3 minerals.
Yes. So 3 to 4 then shit. There's one more I said. And we know this one too. There we go. Somebody listening to me. Cortisol or stress. Stress. Don't stress out. I know it's hard. It's hard, but what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? I look at it as like if it's not good. If I can't change it, I ain't gonna stress about it. I just hey, this is what it is. You know? That's what the breathing exercise is for. Meditation, taking time to sit with self. Go by water, sit by the water. Make a child laugh. Ain't it? You hear them children laugh, that kind of perk you up, don't it? That's a secret science though, you understand? But be around children and laugh. Don't do no weird shit, but just be around them and just make them laugh, or you just pay attention to them. Because if you pay attention to the child, it's gonna make you realize, like, damn, man, it ain't really that serious. Look how innocent they look. Look how they have no idea what's going on in the world. They ain't listen to Trump and Biden debate and yelling at the TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't think about that. And I get it. That's what we supposed to do. They're supposed to do that. But sometimes it's best for us also not to lose that childlike mind. You understand what I'm saying? We tend to lose that as we get older. Well, I don't know. No, I like to play all day. If those that really know me, all I want to do is joke. I ain't taking nothing serious. For what? You know? You ain't gonna stress me. You ain't gonna kill me. I have no stress. I ain't stressed, you know. So first thing you wake up in the morning, you pray to whoever you want to pray to. That's none of my concern. I didn't no judgment here. You know what I mean? But you pray to who you pray to. You give thanks to your ancestors, whatever it is you do, right? And just be thankful for that one day. You do your breathing exercises, and then walk out to the world. That's all you can really do. But it creates like a protection around you. You understand, for the day. So that way you're not as bothered by the activities of the world. Because you can't change that. You ain't gonna be able to change that. But you can change your environment around you. Start with here, start with the heart first, you understand? Then you'll start seeing that you're gonna attract what you want to attract, who you are. You understand? That's gonna lower your blood pressure too. I know you're like, well, what this shit got to do with it? It's gonna lower your blood pressure because you ain't as stressed no more. You ain't as invested into the worldly things as much anymore. You see? Any questions?
So in the chat says my fiance suffers with PCOS and high blood pressure. Should she take these herbs as well to assist her with that?
Yeah, she can. She, right? Yeah, it gotta be she, PCOS, right? So, yeah, she can still take that with a high blood pressure, but because it's a hormonal imbalance, really, when it comes to that. All right, so what I want her to do is it's a herb called chasteberry, right? That's a really good one. Also add in something like maybe like saw palmetto because it's high in testosterone, right? And so what you want to do is balance out the hormones because usually her estrogen levels are higher when you're dealing with PCOS. So you want to give some type of testosterone in her body to bring the levels down to a balance. Also, another herb too is called bugleweed. Bugleweed moderates estrogen levels too, right? So that will be um, what I suggest, as well as doing a detox and cleansing your lymphatic system. All right, because anything that's like risen and just stopped is because the lymphatic system is not moving. So you could do these herbs too. Cleavers, plantain leaf, those hydrangea, those are excellent lymphatic cleansers. So you're right. That's what I would do. Right. Any other questions on there? No other questions on that. So we got some food. All right. Huh?
You were going to give us
What you
a
want?
formula.
A formula. There you go, y'all.
But I do have a question about, are there any medications that are contraindicated with any of these herbs? And you don't have to tell me like what they are, I just wanna know if there are ones that you need to attend.
So there will be. So
Okay.
let's say for example you're taking high blood pressure medicine and you want to use hibiscus and dandelion root. Now what's going to happen is your blood pressure is going to drop down to low. So low blood pressure just as bad as high blood pressure, right? To be right exact. So we got our temperature, but the pressure has to be right as well, right? So the kidneys can't, the blood can't flow too slow through the kidneys. It can't go too fast through the kidneys. It has to be the right temperature or the right pressure for the kidneys. Because you can go too fast through the kidneys, it's gonna overwork it. But going too slow through the kidneys, ain't gonna have nothing to do. It's gonna get lazy. All right. So STP, right? That's how I kind of remember. But they use it for cars, right? But the car is designed after the body, so that's why I use that. You understand? So Yeah, so I say all that to say that, yeah, so if you was to use that, then that would drop the pressure down to low. So I normally tell people to take your medication and take the herbs like an hour or two apart. All right? Because I don't tell nobody don't take their medication. I just don't. I ain't a doctor, so I'm not gonna tell you not to take your medication. I want you to choose that. You're gonna notice because you're gonna take it an hour or two apart. You're gonna know you feel groggy and I can feel good, right? Taking the medication, but then when you take these herbs and you're gonna be up, you're gonna be bounced, you're gonna check your blood pressure. Oh man, it's down. Oh, I feel good. You're gonna make that decision, right? But what I will say is high blood pressure medication is not and was never and should not be intended to be taken for the rest of your life. That's ridiculous. You yourself got to put in the work, right? And it's simply just eating right. That's all it is, eating correctly. Because it ain't even discipline. My teachers say, well, a crackhead, an alcoholic got discipline, right? If you wake up every morning to go find some crack, that take discipline. So he always used to say that. Well, there's no such thing as discipline. He would always say it. I was like, I get it what he's saying. So anybody can be disciplined. It's just what you choose to be disciplined about. You know. So don't make it like this big fancy word, like, oh, I gotta, I eat a salad. What you mean? You want to live, don't you? Oh, you want to be on the roof with me? What y'all? Y'all know where that comes from? Oh, boo. You smoke crack, don't you? Oh, jump. Thank you, God. Duh. Lean on me, y'all. Nah. So anyway. So I say all that to say, like, you take control of your destiny. If you don't even do it for you, do it for your children. Do it for your grandchildren. You know what I mean? Do it for somebody else. Don't do it for you then. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for the people that's more important in your life that if you wasn't here, it would affect them. So do it for them. You see? So if somebody be like, man, are you eating salad and fruits all day? Yeah, because I'm trying to live for you. Yeah. So I'm gonna feed you. Y'all got questions? Any more questions? Oh, and the herbal blend. All right. Other than that, you're right.
So the herbs give potassium, calcium from all, get it all from one herbs.
This thing about to fall down. 1 second. Potassium, if you're from your foods, but you can get potassium more, particularly from like mangoes, obviously bananas, right? Because we know we need the potassium because potassium helps with alleviating cramping, muscle cramps, muscle spasms, things like that, right? So the idea is so your blood vessels don't spaz, you understand, or cramp up. Your blood vessels don't cramp up, so that's what the potassium is for. You see, but you can get that from, I would say, Boro bananas. I don't like to say the bananas at the store. But at the market there in Latson, where the Mexicans at, they got Boro bananas. It's the little small ones with the seeds in it, right? And then the red ones, like the Ecuadorian one, those are good. That's okay too. But you don't want to eat the Chiquita banana. Chiquita and Dole. Mangoes, bananas, berries, figs, any type of berry, except for cranberry. Why? Because it has saponins in it that it's not good for the kidneys. Calcium? What foods? So you trying to tell me I wrote all these foods down there that had magnesium? Then you go ask? Yeah. I'm a. Hey, Miss Warner, go check me out after this. You got
You said no cranberries, but I think it's ironic. Like old folks tell you, like you having trouble with your kidneys or
what you,
something to drink.
yeah, to drink the cranberry, right? Exactly.
But it's counterproductive.
It's counterproductive. Yeah. So you could do the same. So the reason why I say it because it's astringent, right? But you could do the same thing with a grape, a seeded grape. The concept of that is you want something that can pull or astringent and tone. The cranberry being that it's so tart, it may work quicker, yeah. But it goes back to what I was talking about the cabbage too. How some foods wasn't meant to be eaten all the time. It's more medicinal. So it's something that hey, let me take shots of this cranberry juice, whatever the case may be. But it's nothing I'm gonna drink daily. You understand? So it's one of those. It's one of those things.
Anyway, I had to see a dietitian and they told me not to eat greens because takes like 3 days to get out of the system. So.
Tell them go to hell. No, I'm teasing. I'm just teasing. No, I'm just teasing. But no, that's not true. Any fruit will break down in your body within minutes. Any fruit. That's why it's always good to eat fruits first. Before any food, eat fruits. Because it's cleansing, they're water soluble, they're gonna break down, and they're gonna digest quick and easy in the body. So any fruit, that's not true. Right. So I don't know what they talk about. I hope you ain't paid them. You know. Oh, free consultation. All right, I got you. Yeah, sometimes ain't free ain't good. So the formula. All right. So the formula that we're gonna use, that's something that you could eat, drink every day without any type of side effect thing. Because some herbs you can't take every day, right? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna put nettle on this list. All right, nettle. You're gonna put alfalfa.
Are these combined or separate?
These are gonna be combined. All right. You're gonna put devil's claw. If you can't find devil's claw, which everybody in here should be able to find devil's claw. I know this guy. I know this guy who sells it. But you could do burdock root as well. So you do either or. All right. Nettle, alfalfa, devil's claw, or burdock root, either or. Are you gonna do Cassandra berry? And the only reason why I like that because I just love that. I love that plant. Now, is this the end all be all? No, but you can come up with different combinations, right? You may have your own combination. I just figured this is what I do. This is what I would give somebody and say, hey, here. So what you're doing, you got your minerals here, and you working on your kidneys and adrenals here. You see what I just did there? You're working on everything together simultaneously. Every chemical or these herbs is going to work on every part of, well, not every, well, yeah, every part of the body, but the parts of the body that we want it to work on, right? When it comes to high blood pressure and or hypertension. Okay? You had a question over there?
Are these good to juice while taking blood pressure medication? I like to juice them, yet my doctor told me not to while taking medication.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Juice, I wouldn't juice beets, period, honestly. We just talked about that too. It's because though it may have the nitric oxide, that's why you probably want to use it, but it also has phytic acid. So it's going to counteract, it's counterproductive, basically. Um, when taking any type of medications and herbs, you always want to make sure you separate them. So you want to take maybe separated maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour or two apart from each other, so they don't interact with each other. Because again, you don't want your blood pressure to drop down too low. All right. A good example of that is mixing hibiscus and dandelion root together. That's not a good combination to mix together because it will drop your blood pressure down too low. So I would never recommend that particular blend. Um, However, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't take the medication if you're going to do beet juice. Well, it's one or the other. You got to do one or the other. And I hope I answered that question. Any other questions on that?
What two roots you just said you put together and
Huh?
Hibiscus and dandelion.
Oh, hibiscus and dandelion. I wouldn't mix them together, right? Because hibiscus alone will get your pressure down low. You know what I mean? But this is the combination. But this is the combination right here. This is a good little formula because it's going to deal with the adrenals, the kidneys, the blood. It's going to cleanse the blood, and you're going to get the nutrition or the minerals that we talked about that you're going to need.
And you put equal amounts of them?
So, good question. So when it comes to this, I'll usually leave that up to the individual. But to answer your question though, is one of them has to be the star or the base, right? So let's say if I was doing it like this with like maybe burdock root is the base. Like so I'm gonna probably put maybe 5 tablespoons of burdock root in, right? And then I would probably put maybe 3 tablespoons of sanjaberry. I would boil that together, turn the stove off or whatever after it finished boiling. Then I would add my leaves in. I would add maybe like 2 tablespoons apiece of the leaves, and then just let it simmer or steep for about another 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And then you're going to drink that. You're going to drink it 2-3 times a day. You would drink that 2 to 3 times a day.
And if you have low blood pressure, it would be a problem.
If you have low blood pressure, so if you have low blood pressure, then you want to, I would probably only, I wouldn't even, I would probably only do a nettle and burdock root. Why? Because that's
Do
going,
1, 2, and 3, or 1.
so I would, yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So burdock, nettle, and alfalfa, I would do those if you had low blood pressure because those are nutritive and building herbs, what we call nutritive herbs. So they're going to give you that nourishment and build the blood up. You see? You had a question?
Yeah, what about if you don't have a pressure problem and you're not on any medication? Can you still?
Yes. Yeah. Because they're still going to be preventative. And that's really what I really want to teach anyway. I'd rather teach preventative health than, oh, I'm sick, so now I need the herbs. Like, no, take the herbs because you don't want to get sick. You know what I'm saying? Questions? No.
Which two for the low blood, the low blood pressure?
So you gonna sit here and ask me?
No, because
No. You gonna ask, but I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk my trash.
I'll make sure I get it.
And remember, y'all, it's her. She was the one that gave me permission, right? So no, so nettle, alfalfa, burdock. So 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Don't use this.
What parts of mixing herbs? How much of each?
No. So let's say that's going to be up to the individual, right? So let's say you're going to use this formula right here, you would choose your base. You're right. So you may want to say you probably want, let's say, burdock root to be your base or the star of the concoction. Okay. So, or decoction, right? So you would add maybe 4 to 5 tablespoons of the burdock root. And then with the sasanja berry, you may put 3 tablespoons of sasanja berry. And then with the nettle and alfalfa, they would get the same even part since they're leaves, right? So they would get like 2 tablespoons, you see? But the idea is you want to have the root or um, the base herb, and then you want to build on top, almost like building like a pyramid, almost like, right? But you want to build on top as supporting cast. So the other herb's gonna be the supporting cast of that base herb, say as in burdock root. All right. I hope that answered your question. Did that? You understand?
So if you're doing the low blood pressure one, and if you said you were gonna have the burdock and you do 5, is it okay just to do the 2 and 2, or do you need to make a 3 because you don't have the Chandra?
Say that again.
Okay, so with the low blood pressure one, you picked out number 4,
Right.
right? So if you have burdock as the kind of star, and you have 5 tablespoons of that, in the other formula you gave 2 and 2 to nettle and alfalfa. Is that enough, or should we add 3 and 3 because we don't have the?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. It should be because, like I said, because they're leaves, so they're light, more lighter, and it depends on what size pot you're gonna use too, right? And this is just say for like a medium-sized pot in my mind, right? But say if you're making a larger pot, a gallon, then you're going to increase the amount anyway. You see?
But that would be enough for like 3 cups.
No, that should be enough for maybe 6 cups. Like, you know what I mean?
So like 2 days.
Yeah. Like this, that should be enough to have a pitcher, a Kool-Aid pitcher or whatever, to refrigerate and drink off for a couple of days. Okay. You see? So I hope y'all learned. So if y'all still got more questions, keep asking. But I hope y'all learned something. If you got any more questions, feel free to let me know. Is there any more questions in the chat? No. Okay. So I appreciate y'all all for coming, but I appreciate y'all because y'all came for y'all. That makes sense? You know what I mean? So stop eating that bullshit. Oh. That's number 1. Make sure you're getting the correct nutrients and minerals in your body, whether you got to take a multivitamin, maybe you got to do CMOS and bladder so, but make sure you're getting the nutrients in your body. Because again, at the end of the day, I said all this to say basically high blood pressure or hypertension is what? A simple mineral deficiency. That's all it is, a mineral deficiency. So if we got the right minerals in it, high blood pressure it would be non-existent. That's it.
But you gotta do the diet though too.
You got to do the living. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's just common sense. Like, people come in here all the time and they be like, man, I'm taking this hibiscus, man, my blood pressure's still high. I said, well, what you eating? Man, I might have a piece of slab of bacon every now and then. Man, I ain't gonna give up my bacon. I said, well, get the hell out of my shop. What you want me to do about it? You know what I mean? What you want me to do? I'm not gonna pop out your cabinet or out your refrigerator and say, hey, put that shit down. I'm not gonna do it. So it's gonna be you. Can you have the discipline? And again, you don't even need discipline. You just need a purpose, right? If your purpose is your children, your family, or because I want to live a long quality of life, that's it. You don't have to have discipline. You just got to have a purpose. What's your purpose? You see? That's it. Y'all want to eat? I got some food. So what I got, we got some quinoa, um, cut up vegetables, things like some squash and out the garden, out my garden, some share, but some squash and zucchini, and then we got some cooked kale, right, or some peppers, again out the garden, right, and then we got some oyster mushroom from Sheriff from Vibrant Alkaline. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gonna eat. Now, guess what? I forgot to bring something to drink or make a tea or something like I normally do. So, with that being said, you are welcome to have a coconut water or something on me. You know what I mean?
The teas are good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was there by myself. It was busy today, so I couldn't make the tea. I ain't had time to make the tea. But coconut water on me. You know what I'm saying? So you can have something washing down with or whatnot. But that's it. So how we normally do it in here, well, it's mainly always women, right? But we always let the elders go first, then the women, and then the working men, and then the other niggas get what's left. You know what I'm saying?
I would ask what kind of tea was gonna make.
What kind of tea I was gonna make? Oh gosh.
What was it gonna be if you didn't?
Well, if I was gonna make a tea, it was gonna be this.
Oh.
It's gonna be this. So that's what's gonna be the tea. But I didn't get the time. No, the whole blend.
Or the blend.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The whole blend. Yep. So that's it. So the food is behind here. I'm gonna move this out of the way if y'all don't need to take a picture or whatever with it or whatnot. But other than that, I appreciate y'all coming. Make sure y'all eat some food. Make sure y'all take some food home too. You know what I mean? Whatever. What? Take a picture, do what you gotta do. And I appreciate y'all for coming and tuning in with us. I appreciate you. Appreciate the love. Y'all got any other questions? Feel free to let us know. You can either email the questions or whatnot, inbox, DM me or whatnot. I'm good at that, getting back with people too. So any other questions, someone let me know, right? But I appreciate y'all coming as well too. All right, blessings, and y'all travel safe on y'all journey. Y'all got
I
it?
guess I'm the first. I got what?
Y'all good? All right. Oh, it's a fresh one over there.
Oh,
Yeah, because I know that one. Rahul Bats. How you
I
feeling?
didn't
Oh,
pay
towel.
online, so I
No,
was
that's all
just like,
good.
I got cash.
Tell what's up. It's a fresh one over there, mama. Over there.
I just always stuff I'm trying to keep food in my mom. I cooked quinoa today. I cooked squash
Oh, that's good.
last night, zucchini last night, a little bit of sweet potatoes.
Yeah,
What about chickpeas now?
should be good.
Cook some chickpeas.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be trying to make a soup and then use some of it to make like a sauce with pasta.
That's good. That sounds good.
It's like, man,
I'll
you
eat.
calling me, man?
Yeah, I'll eat over there. Sound like
Never I know all about this and nothing, you know.
yeah,
Kind of give her some stuff. She
yeah,
like
yeah.
eating now.
Oh, that's
And
good.
it kind of.
Take this, No, so Cheryl from Vibrant Alkalines cooked this. My wife made this and the kale greens. So y'all take your time.
so now what you say this was?
That is oyster mushroom.
Oh,
hmm And then some sauces can go on your mushrooms right here. I don't know which one's spicy, but I think it just cause how this look, it look like it's spicy, but I ain't sure. Also, if y'all looking like to do a juice cleanse or anything like that to even jumpstart your cleanse, the young lady right there in the red dress, she's a master juicer,
Really?
a juice therapist. No, I didn't know about that one. I don't think no. But get with her and she can put together like a plan to just start off the cleanse too. Cause that's another thing too. Less foods, you know what I'm saying? More juicing will help dilate blood vessels too. You know. I got you.
Be a gentle person, kind sir.
Yeah, my quinoa don't look like that. I don't have all that in my quinoa. It's just the quinoa itself.
That's right. Yeah, that's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You start getting jazzy with it, huh? That sauce. So Cheryl made that sauce. One is she called Carolina Gold. One is sweet something. I don't know that red one. Yeah, you can use that spoon right there, mama. Samples of what, mama? Come get it. Oh, you can take it to her. You could do that. Don't be no goddamn. Don't be no goddamn. Where's Jason at? Oh, he's staying over there. Like staying or just chilling for the summer. Yeah.
He can't stay there because he didn't want to help her cut the grass earlier today, so she took him back home.
Oh Lord, boy.
Exactly. I said no, he can't come back.
Yeah, use that fork or you can use. I mean, you can use that fork. You can use that, but I'll put this fork in there so that way y'all gonna have something to grab with.
So do I need to come back when Barbara sees
Mushrooms,
it?
yeah. Mr. Lee, like, I ain't know about that.
Do I need to come back when Barbara sees to get the booklet for the?
I don't.
Because I know she was
You
doing
probably.
it off her computer.
So you might have to, but let me. You already talked to her, got your email and all that.
Nobody responded, so I sent it like 7 days.
What's your email?
SHARI@gmail.com.
Say it again. SAU.
Oh, you see it? SAU at gmail.com. Replay. That's what I got it for.
Oh. So I'll tell her to send it to you because I know you also.
Yeah, because she sent it, just didn't come through, and then I checked again, and I checked my spam, like you said, and nothing.
Matter of fact, I'm a. You on Facebook and all that stuff? I thought she got a group for that too.
She was sent, because she was going to give it to me, and she's like, oh, do you want me to email it to you? I said, oh, that would be great. And she did something, but it didn't come.
I'll make sure you get it. I got you though. Either way.